The warm glow of family togetherness faded faster than the sunset over my parents' farmhouse. After 3 days of pretending we were the perfect American family backyard, barbecues, old photo albums, and forced laughter, I just wanted to get home to my apartment in Boston. But when I checked my bank account at the gas station, my stomach dropped. $27,842 gone. Every penny I had saved for my business startup. I knew exactly who had done this. Before you hear what happened next, drop a comment telling me where you are watching from, and hit that subscribe button if family betrayal stories make your blood boil. Construction has always been in my blood. From the age of 16, I had been swinging hammers, driving nails, and learning the trade that would eventually become my passion. Now at 32, after years of working my way up to foreman at Wilson Construction, I was finally within reach of my dream, starting my own company, Leo Construction and Renovations. Every extra shift, every weekend job, every penny saved had been for this purpose. My sister Amanda had chosen a different path. 2 years younger than me, she had always been the golden child in our family. Where I was practical and hardworking, she was charming and ambitious in a different way. She married Derek Hamilton 3 years ago, a guy from a supposedly wealthy family who talked big and spent bigger. From the moment I met him at their engagement party, something about Derek never sat right with me. His handshake was too firm, his smile never reached his eyes, and he had a way of looking at people like he was calculating their worth. Our family dynamic shifted when Derek entered the picture. Our parents, hard-working middle-class folks who had maintained the same farmhouse in western Massachusetts for 30 years, were immediately impressed by Derek. His polished appearance, expensive car, and stories about his family business made them believe Amanda had married up in the world. Meanwhile, they viewed my construction career as merely adequate despite my advancement and savings. At family gatherings, tensions simmered beneath the surface. Derek would make subtle jabs about working with your hands being admirable but not as sophisticated as his supposed financial consulting work. I kept the peace for my parents' sake, and especially for Amanda, who seemed genuinely happy even if her social media posts showed a lifestyle that seemed beyond what a mid-level consultant could afford. The most recent family reunion had been planned for months, a 3-day gathering at my parents' farmhouse. I had been working 60-hour weeks to build up additional capital for my business launch and almost canceled, but my mother insisted it would break her heart if I missed it. So I drove the 2 hours from Boston, arriving Friday evening with a small duffel bag and my laptop, which contained all my business plans and financial information. The first sign something was off should have been Derek, arriving in a brand new Mercedes SUV, while simultaneously complaining about cash flow problems at dinner. The second red flag was the $15,000 watch glinting on his wrist, a purchase he attributed to a fortunate investment when my father complimented it. But the most obvious warning came during our Saturday afternoon beers on the porch, when Derek asked pointed questions about my banking setup. "So you manage all your accounts online?" he asked, swirling his craft beer with apparent casualness. "Yeah, everything is digital these days," I replied, not thinking much of it. "And you have two-factor authentication, right?" His interest seemed unusual, but I chalked it up to his finance background. "Sometimes. Depends on which account." I should have been more careful with my answer, but after 3 beers and the false comfort of family, my guard was down. That night I woke briefly around 2 in the morning and thought I heard my bedroom door click shut. Half asleep, I convinced myself it was just the old house settling, or perhaps my mother checking on me like she used to when I was young. The next morning I noticed my laptop had been moved slightly in my bag. The position of the charger was different than how I had packed it. When I mentioned this at breakfast, Derek laughed. "Probably just your imagination, Leo. Or maybe Mom was snooping to see if you have a girlfriend yet." Everyone chuckled, and I let it go, not wanting to create drama over what was probably nothing. During Sunday brunch, I received a notification about a $10 charge I did not recognize. I made a mental note to check it later, but forgot. As the day progressed with family photos reminiscing and my father grilling his famous barbecue ribs, when Derek insisted on paying for rounds at the local bar Sunday night, something he had never done before, I should have connected the dots. When Amanda showed up wearing new designer shoes she got on sale, another piece of the puzzle was there in plain sight. But family has a way of blinding you to the obvious. We want to believe the best about those closest to us, even when every instinct is screaming warnings. I ignored all these signals because acknowledging them would mean accepting an ugly truth about people I loved. Monday morning, I said my goodbyes, hugging my parents and promising to call more often. Amanda hugged me tightly, almost desperately in hindsight, while Derek gave me a hearty backslap and said, "Drive safe, buddy. Let us know when you make it home." I had driven about 45 minutes when I pulled into a gas station just outside of Springfield. While the tank filled, I decided to check my bank account on my phone to calculate my budget for the upcoming week. What I saw made my blood run cold. My savings account balanced $324.17. My business account balanced $0.00. My checking account $98.35. $27,842 gone. Every penny I had meticulously saved over 3 years. My vision blurred as I stared at the screen, convinced there must be some error. With shaking hands, I called the bank. "Yes, Mr. Crawford. I can confirm there were several transfers made from your accounts over the weekend," the representative explained after verifying my identity. "The transfers were authorized using your online credentials. They went to an account under the name Amanda Hamilton, my sister, my own flesh and blood." The gas pump clicked off, but I barely heard it. Memories flashed through my mind. Derek asking about my online banking, the moved laptop, the notification I had dismissed. I remembered mentioning during dinner that I kept all my passwords in a secure file on my computer. A file that was not secure enough, apparently. I paid for the gas, got back in my truck, and instead of continuing toward Boston, I made a U-turn. The entire drive back to my parents' farmhouse. My hands gripped the steering wheel so tightly my knuckles turned white. My breathing came in short, painful bursts. Betrayal has a physical manifestation, a hollowness in your chest coupled with nausea and a strange ringing in your ears. By the time I pulled into the gravel driveway, it was almost noon. Both Derek and Amanda's cars were still there. They had planned to leave later that day. Through the dining room window, I could see the four of them eating lunch, laughing about something. The normalcy of the scene made everything worse. I took 3 deep breaths before entering without knocking. The conversation stopped abruptly as I stood in the doorway, still wearing my work boots and flannel jacket. "Leo." My mother stood up, concern washing over her face. "Did you forget something, honey? You could say that." My voice sounded strangely calm, even to my own ears. I pulled out a chair across from Derek and sat down, placing my phone face up on the table. I forgot to ask who emptied my bank accounts. The silence that followed was deafening. Amanda's face drained of color. Derek maintained his composure, but a muscle twitched in his jaw. "What are you talking about?" my father asked, looking genuinely confused. "Someone transferred all my money out of my accounts this weekend. $27,842. Every cent I had saved for my business." I kept my eyes locked on Derek. Interesting thing is, according to the bank, it was transferred to an account belonging to Amanda. My mother gasped. My father looked from me to Amanda, to Derek, his expression morphing from confusion to dawning horror. Amanda began to cry, silently, tears streaming down her face as she stared at her plate. "There must be some mistake," Derek said smoothly. "Banks make errors all the time. Maybe someone hacked your account." "Someone did. Someone who knew exactly what they were looking for and where to find it." I swiped open my phone and showed them the bank statement. The transfers were made at 2:15 in the morning on Sunday. Right around the time I heard someone leaving my room. Derek laughed, but it sounded forced. "You think one of us snuck into your room like some cat burglar? Come on, Leo. This is family. There has to be another explanation." "Amanda," I turned to my sister. "Is there another explanation?" She would not meet my eyes. Her shoulders shook with silent sobs. "Amanda, tell him." Derek said, an edge creeping into his voice. "Tell him we did not take his money." My sister finally looked up, her mascara streaking down her cheeks. "I am so sorry, Leo. It was not supposed to be all of it. Just enough to cover the mortgage payment we missed." Jesus Christ. Amanda, Derek slammed his hand on the table, making the plates jump. "What the hell are you saying?" My father stood up so quickly his chair toppled backward. "Derek, did you steal from my son?" The facade finally cracked. Derek's expression shifted from fake indignation to cold calculation. He straightened his designer shirt and looked at me with contempt. Your son has been hoarding money while we have been drowning in debt. Do you have any idea what it costs to maintain our lifestyle? The country club memberships, the car payments. Amanda deserves nice things, and her construction worker brother had money sitting around doing nothing. Doing nothing. My voice rose despite my efforts to stay calm. That money was for my business. Everything I have worked for over the past 3 years. Derek shrugged. You will make more. You have your little job. We needed it more than you did. Amanda was fully crying now.